love with Rudy's Tasty Oak Smoked Barbecue.
Next in line.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey! Hot tub! I wake up! I stay hot tub! Stay hot tub! Gonna get you hot tub! I'm gonna make it wet! Stay hot tub! Rubber dub in the hot tub! Rubber dub with me! Should I get in the hot tub? Yeah! Will it make me sweat? Yeah! Should I get in the hot tub? Yeah! Will it make me wet? Yeah!
Well. Partly cloudy today. The high 90 degrees, low 83. Right now it's 86 degrees in beautiful paradise.
Yeah.
Panama City Beach, Panama City.
With thunderstorms
Lynn Haven.
and lightning alerts and everything else going off in here.
God, just deal with it, man. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Good morning, Jason. You're in a good mood today.
Good morning.
Looking good, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
Got
it.
your haircut. Jim Bob, you doing
did.
good?
Yeah.
Good. That Friday here with the Big Ten Network.
As it should be.
As it should be. Yeah, you're right. Whatever. All right, I got to get this in. Let me get this in real quick. The bottom line is you want to watch the weather this weekend, but the channel I would recommend, I've watched the Weather Channel, watched all the locals, absolutely local, but Fox Weather, they do an incredible job. I watched it early this morning, and they went through all this stuff, and the lady did it honestly. She goes, honestly, we don't know what it's going to do. They don't know where it's going to go. They got the models have been wrong, and they're saying where it comes off Cuba. If it comes off south of Cuba, we're probably in trouble. If it comes off northeast of Cuba, it'd be probably Tampa. It is now bumped up to a 90% chance of something developing. Probably, they're talking about the heat of the water, the humidity, everything's there for it to get really strong. We know it'll be if it gets up this way, it's going to be a hurricane.
Here's the thing to look out for.
Yeah.
If you look at Florida, this part of Florida, or any part of Florida, is Jim Cantori in your neighborhood.
Right. Wherever he
Jim
goes.
Cantori from the weather station or that network is in your neighborhood, buddy, you better get out.
Yep.
Because he's the grandstander. He loves to stand in. I'm in 150 mile an hour winds now. It's really blowing hard. Catastrophic wind surge.
Did you see the year the CNN guy
surge.
climbed into the water? It was like, I'm sinking.
That was the guy that's parents owned the Biltmore. I mean,
Yeah.
So if Jim Cantori's in your neighborhood, then you got problems.
Yeah.
If you see CNN, just
run.
do a favor. No, do a favor. Go hunting.
Right.
I didn't say that.
No, he didn't.
Anyway, here we go. Tropical storm watches, warnings for Florida coming later today, maybe. At the end, they say maybe. Hurricane Hunter will be flying into it later today.
We heard you're flying in the Hurricane Hunter plane.
I wouldn't fly into anything.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, we don't know what's going to
I
be.
don't ride the Dumbo ride.
Just pay attention because, really and true, the water is extremely hot. We've dealt with this before. You were asking, you made a mistake and stayed last time, whatever, which I think is ridiculous. Nobody should stay. We were actually together up in Birmingham when it was hitting. And
Hurricane Michael, that was
remember that? We were up there when all that was going. They treated us really well too. They did a great job.
Here's the thing. All kidding aside, if you stay in Florida, you learn to deal with this.
Oh, yeah.
But unless that storm tracks way to the west, I mean way to the west, because the worst quadrant is always the northeast corner,
right?
The upper right-hand corner. That's when you get clobbered.
Oh, yeah.
Either that or it comes straight at you like Michael did. So. Yeah, will we get rain? Yeah, probably. But it's going to have to go way to the left to really impact us. This is my 2 cents.
If it goes like they're talking about, what the models are saying, but they don't know. They'll tell you they don't know. We won't get anything. It's going to be on Tampa.
Exactly.
We'll be on the west side of it.
Exactly.
So
even if we get a moderate tropical depression come through here with, let's say, 40, 50 mile an hour winds, it has rained for a solid month.
Yeah.
Here and I mean, it wouldn't take nothing to start.
And there's a chance it stalls
pushing
out.
trees over and stuff like that. So if we get sustained
we
40
don't
mile
know.
an hour winds,
The bottom line is you don't know.
We just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like you talked about, they said there's a good chance that something like that could happen. Stall and get flooding like you wouldn't believe. It is what it is. We got to deal with it, but we'll be okay. We'll get through with it. I'll be in a safe place way far away. I'll tell you now.
Salt Lake City.
Phoning it in, as they say.
Wait, what? I'm not going to get into it. I will tell the story.
But there's
later.
a reason for that.
I know. Everything was sold out. Yeah, that's another thing. But I'm going to tell you what. My wife, they lost 2 homes. I'm talking destroyed. You hear me? Destroyed. Camille was up to winds at over 200 miles an hour. This is back in '69. I think it was 1969. Yeah. Then the other one. But remember, you don't. And another thing, even if it is a tropical depression, people forget about this. Some of them spin off so many tornadoes that you're going to wish you were not here. I mean, those things drive you every 5 minutes. Tornado warning, getting I can't deal with that crap.
Yeah, hurricane, you can tell.
Yeah, I don't like
you can say, okay, here comes the hurricane. Here, but tornadoes, they just spin up anywhere and everywhere. Living up in north of Cincinnati towards Dayton, there where that plateau is.
Yep.
They used to go through there.
Senior, baby.
Wildcat, what I'm talking about, though, even if it's just a tropical system, some of them spin off a lot of tornadoes.
And the
lot of them.
The other thing, too, we joke a lot about the categories and all this. No, it's only a Category 1. But thing is, Category 1's got, 75 of them. If it's in your backyard, that's like the end of the world. Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
I don't care what cat it is.
It's loud. It's scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
No power for days. Yeah. Let's write it out.
The numbers don't really mean a whole lot.
Yeah.
To me, it's just get out of the way.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of hurricanes, and I've stayed for most of them just because of the getting back in is the worst part. But I would say this about Michael. Michael's a little different. As it came in, it got really dark, but the pressure was so low. You can hear like a whistling sound when it came in. It was really, really eerie, and I was like, oh, this is going to be different.
Were you in town on the beach then?
I was on the beach.
Yeah. This thing, you've been in town. It was
I know. My buddy stayed in Lynn Haven. We were actually going to drive to Lynn Haven thinking that was going to be safer, and his roof, literally, he was filming it while it got blown off. His roof got completely blown off.
He's alive.
Yeah, he is. And he actually came to my house on the beach to stay with me. And usually we do the opposite. We'll go either to Southport or somewhere kind of, 30, 40 miles off the coast. But that was just a different animal right there.
Well, some positive weather news. The 2024 fall temperatures forecast, the Farmers Act, whatever it is, they're saying now that if you're like Georgia, east part of Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, you're just going to be way below the normal averages. That's pretty good.
Good.
For our area where we live in Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, it's going to be average temperatures, and I think most of it's going to be pretty much the West. It has an opportunity. It's going to be probably a little bit above.
I'm ready for it to get cold so I can eat what I want, get chubby, and wear sweatshirts.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm getting more. As I get older, I think I like the fall. I love the fall.
I love the fall and spring before it gets too hot. I like it 50s at night, 65, 70 in the day. To me, I think that's perfect weather.
And I finally got what Jim would tell me because I always wanted to be in snow. Never been in it like 2 or 3 times. But then we went up there.
Snow's overrated.
It is.
We went up there to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and all that. For that, when they got hit with all that snow, and when things up there got closed down, that's pretty bad.
Right.
And I was like, my God, trying to walk in ice and snow about getting killed. And I said, I know what he's talking about now.
Yeah, growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, obviously we got our big time share of snow.
Oh yeah.
As a kid, it's fun. It's slide around, building snow. It's great as a kid. But once you get to the point where you got to be an adult and then deal with it and drive it, warm your car up,
shovel the
windows,
snow,
slide off the road, get in accidents because you can't stop. It stopped being fun.
It's a 30-minute process just to get your car started and get it warmed up enough where you get the ice off of it. So
it really is.
And that's not fun to go out there cold after you get out of your shower and 10-degree weather. Be like, oh.
We got to call it.
It's fun to visit. It's not fun to live in.
Good morning. Good morning.
Am I with us?
Good morning. How are you?
I couldn't be better. How are you doing?
Well, I was trying to get my weather report this morning.
Well, you got it, baby. Anything else you need to know?
I know.
Everybody's going to die. Run.
I know we're not in danger because you're at work.
Don't bring up snakes or alligators.
I was somewhere, and they said, Florida's like Australia. We got panthers, we got black bears, we got gators, we got crocodiles, we got snakes, we got it all, right? I said, well, we got robbed in the panhandle. I'm not worried.
Yeah. Hey, I did want to ask you, when FSU play in Ireland. What's the weather going to be like over there? Is it cold this time of year?
It's going to be nice. Yes, it's not going to be warm. It's going to be nice. Ticket prices going through the roof. In fact, a kickoff, there's 75% chance of rain.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about the rain. I just worried about because they play Boston College Labor Day night.
Yeah.
Rob, do you believe any?
Rob, after halftime, there is a tornado warning up there.
Right.
No, I have no idea.
That's the real answer right there.
I really hate this game from Florida.
Too easy, Rob.
At least you will admit it.
Yes.
I'd rather have somebody tell me, I really don't know, than to give me some off the wall wrong answer.
What are you doing today? What's your work schedule like today? You busy?
I always stay busy. I just tell everybody when they say, well, if I work hard, I said, you just grab my belt loop and hold on for about a week. See.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know.
I'm gonna be mowing grass, fixing some hurricane shutters that didn't come down yesterday when I tested them. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
What do you? I know where you're gonna be at. You're gonna be at your counter. As soon as you leave there, you're gonna go to your counter, sit up there, and look at the internet all day.
Or he'll be at J. Michael's eating, or
he'll take his lunch break. Yeah, he's going to take his lunch break.
11 o'clock, I will be probably at J. Michael's having that Chris fish. I like the Chris fish. It's really good.
Told you.
Chris fish.
Yeah, really
there
good.
You go.
Really good.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Anyway, anything local going around, we can start a rumor. And doesn't need to be true.
Well, I guess everybody
today.
Hey, I did want to ask you about this. Now, how is Alabama changing their start times on all their football games to 9 o'clock?
I don't know. That's something.
I hear practice starts at 9.
And I think that's that's the rest of the year too. I don't know. His philosophy that way they'll come back in the afternoon and have meetings and lift weights and stuff like that. He likes it. That's the way he's always done it. That's just him. He also was funny. His first interview, he was like, "Man, this weather down south isn't. Wow, I got to get used to this. It's not even. It wasn't even hot then.
It's not that
the
humid
12
yet.
and 3 o'clock. The 12 and 3 o'clock kickoffs when it's 150 degrees.
But think where he grew up. He grew up in South Dakota and Washington.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think he coached in Iowa. That's a little different than here.
Yeah, big time.
He thinks it's hot out there now.
Yeah.
Wait till it cooks up. Wait till he gets in that bowl in one of them stadiums, and they put him on the visitor side, and the sun's beating down on him.
Rob, we went. This was when Saban hadn't been there that long. Maybe it was a few years. I can't remember that. But anyway, we had end zone tickets. My brother, his son, my son, and it was 11 o'clock kickoff. It wasn't a big game. It was some. They paid a team to come in there and get killed. And I'm telling you, the kickoff was 11. And at about 11:45, we had people fainting. This was like the first or second game of the year, and we went and stayed inside. They had that end zone had where you walk up and they have all the food for you, air conditioned, huge area in there. I mean, so everybody stayed in there, watched the games on the TV instead of being outside. I'm telling you, it was brutal. And I walk and run in this. I used to run and jog in this weather. It's brutal.
We went to the Choke and the Doke, and it rained the night before, and it was just wet and damp, and then it got to be like 96 degrees, and it was like, and half the stadium left. People don't realize this. Half the stadium left in that game because it was like 31-0 at halftime, and then they all came back about the fourth quarter, and it was miserable.
That water coming up out of the...
it was so hot. You couldn't breathe. It was just like slapping you in the face, but great finish, but only half the people that went to the game saw it.
That's what I don't understand about people that, that make these schedules and stuff like that. Why do they not schedule?
It's all for TV.
Yeah.
It's all TV.
Well, I got that, but you still put your northern teams on TV early in the early games, and do these other ones at late night games. I mean, it just, you go at if you got 11, like us, we go to Tallahassee or to Gainesville, it's 11 o'clock, Alabama, Auburn, it's 11 o'clock kickoff if it's noon. And to sit there for that, you get there an hour before the game, you're sitting in the stadium, there's really no air moving, and you sit in that sun for 3 hours, man, it's brutal.
Hey, Rob, we got to take a break. Can you hold on? Because I want to ask your opinion on something when we get back, if that's okay. If you can hold on.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll hold on.
All right, don't hang up. Let's talk about some of our great people. I already mentioned I'm going to be there today. J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. Go check it out. The best seafood. If you love seafood, get their fried shrimp. It's the best I've ever had anywhere. It's outstanding. But today's special is really good, healthy. Grilled fish over a bed of rice, peppers and onions and special sauce. It's outstanding. I think you'll love it. Go try it today at J. Michael's Restaurant. Ice cold beer. And for all your real estate closing, make sure you don't make any mistakes. Go with Chuck Tucker. Go local company. South Oak Title Closing. Number one at what they do. Chuck Tucker's number one. Does an incredible job. Mark Coward, Beth Moby, these are big time realtors. They all use South Oak Title Closing. Make sure you do the same thing. I want to thank Stevenson Air Conditioning, all the great things they've done for us over the years. They've been with us for such a long time. They do an incredible job. If you have any type of problem, if we have any kind of damage this weekend, regardless what it does, if we get hit or whatever, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll be there as soon as they can. They'll take care of all problems. They do an incredible job. Also had El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Great place to go have a wonderful time. Great Mexican food. Right across the street from the Navy base. Happy hour is incredible. They had a big crew last night. Buy one, get one free. We're talking about draft beer, house wine, and also margaritas. Go check it out. Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street is an incredible facility. Him and Charlie Corn, Linda, they've had a restaurant since 1986. They do an incredible, best country cooking you'll get anywhere. The special today, tonight, fried fish or grilled, you tell them what you want. Baked beans, cheese grits, or french fries, rolling the tea right there at Charlie Corn's place. We'll be right back with Rob, with Jim, with Jason, with Wildcat. You look good today. 104.3, ESPN, nice. What? 104.3 at ESPN Northwest. Well, I like that Kentucky blue on you. Look, it goes to your eyes. As far as you know.
America's team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Acuna, Ozzie, and Austin Riley lead the Braves' high-powered offense.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Get out of here, Ozzie. Home run. Ball game.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Brock's Pest Control, Stormore Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Pillsbury Kia, and Mid-South Lumber.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, scattered thunderstorms and some sun and a high of 90 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 83. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and a temperature near 91. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 90 and a chance of thunderstorms and light showers. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Mike Atkinson. For the last 16 years, you've trusted my leadership at the Walton County Sheriff's Office. In that time, UCR crime rates have dropped 67%. That's no coincidence. You can count on me to serve with continued professionalism and provide the excellent hometown service you want. At our agency, excellence matters, as our law enforcement, fire rescue, and animal services are the first on scene. On Tuesday, August 20th, vote to re-elect Atkinson for Walton County Sheriff.
Paid for by Michael Atkinson Jr., Republican for Sheriff.
Hello, this is Rick Wasser with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
He's the sexiest man on the planet.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio on the Sports Talk Must. ESPN Northwest Florida.
That'll make you happy right there.
We're back. 104.3.
Speaking of happy endings.
That was Jason, by the way. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We got Rob. All right, Rob, here's my question to you and the rest of the gang here on a beautiful Friday.
All right, I'm ready.
The boxing. I've heard. Jason just told me something I didn't know. So because when I first broke, it was a trans. Thought he was a female beating the hell out of a lady. I forgot what country she's from.
I think Morocco.
Broke her nose. She cried. She quit. Whatever. Olympic boxing we're talking about.
One of them quit from Italy.
That was a girl.
Italy.
Yeah.
Is that the one that won?
No, the girl. I think it was the girl, and I'm saying air quotations because I'm not sure what's true or what's not. It was from Morocco.
Tell us the latest story.
Well, a lot of people ran with the story that this was transgender. It was a man that identified as a woman. Then people came out and reported, oh, this was just a woman with high levels of testosterone that was born that way genetically, but she was born a woman. So there's a lot of conflicting reports out there of what's real, what's not. Long story short, the girl from Morocco, and that's a country, if you try to transition or if you're gay, they'll cut your head off.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't play around with any of that. So I'm not sure what to believe. Same thing with the Last Supper that we saw. Everybody's like, oh, no, it wasn't the Last Supper. They apologized for remaking the Last Supper. Then they're like, oh, no, it was the God of Diocese, just for dumb people to argue about.
Evil.
So I don't know what's true, what's not. I mean, at this point, I think part of the Olympics is a joke. So I don't pay attention to any of that anymore. Like I was saying the other day, I just watch the sports and support the Americans in swimming.
Is this the only thing we know about? If all the sports are being played, have we heard anything else being a trans, someone thinking
there's another boxer there, too, that's supposedly a man.
I think there's one from Taiwan.
Yeah.
I think I saw.
So that looked like a man.
Yeah, so Rob, my question is, what the hell are they doing? I mean, how can this be allowed, in my opinion? I mean, I don't give a damn. I don't care. I think that's a problem. We sit back and just let them 4 or 5% of the damn population.
Less than that.
Yeah, and we got to bow down and change everything for that. That's because they're screwed up in the head.
Well, no, because they control all the money in the world.
Yeah.
They deal it out to people that accept their little ideologies.
Yeah, so what's your take on that?
Here's my thing, and you never hear anybody that on either side say this, okay? And here's how I kind of look at it and explain it when I'm talking with people like this. These kids, and there are some of them that have issues, okay? They look in the mirror and they don't like their body because it says that they're a man, a boy, or a girl. Okay, so you don't like your body because of the way you look. Well, if you have an eating disorder and you look at the mirror and you weigh 90 pounds and you think you're fat, okay?
Yeah.
And every time you eat, you stick your fingers down your throat and you do that. Your parents don't take you to a doctor and have your fingers cut off so you can't stick them down your throat no more. They take you to a doctor and have you said, hey, look, you're beautiful the way you are. God made you this way.
Yeah.
And, and they address it as a mental issue.
Yeah.
But nobody compares it that way. They say, oh, my gosh, she thinks she's a boy or a girl, so we're going to take her to a doctor and give her a bunch of drugs and change her hormones and mutilate her or him or whatever instead of addressing the real issue.
Yeah, they're doing that to kids. And if you've seen the documentary about the kids that now have grown up and look back and are completely peed off that somebody allowed them to do this. Because at 10 years old, I wanted to be an astronaut. My mom was like, get serious, go to school and learn English, learn math. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I want to do at 10 years old that shouldn't be allowed to do. And one of the things is change my gender. And that's the real sad story in a lot of this, because 90% of those kids regret the heck out of it.
But what I'm getting at is the athletics, the sports with this, how this changes.
Back to the boxing thing. The only report that I really I watched it yesterday, and it was on one of the networks and with the narrator and stuff, and had gone back and looked in the history of that, the boxer that was in the red trunks. Let's go that way, because I don't know their name, don't know what country they're from.
Okay.
And that person had failed in multiple other bouts that their chromosomes or whatever, their testosterone levels, whatever, and they had been not allowed to box in other matches and stuff. Now, whether it is a medical issue, whatever it is, that person was, and I don't know what the weight class is, but that person was a foot taller.
Oh, yeah.
Girl in the blue, and their arms were at least 8 to 10 inches longer. And that's why I think when she got hit in the nose, you heard rumors, she got knocked out, she did this, she did that. No, she took one, and she was trying to get in there and box. but she couldn't get close enough to hit them with her punches because the reach of the other opponent was so great that she just, when she got hit in the face, she just walked over to her corner and said, "Hey, I'm done." You know, and her trainer gets up, and then they had a conversation. And when they met in the middle of the ring and they raised the one in the red's trunks, that person's arms were, look
like Kevin Durant.
It looked like a 10-year-old standing up against a high school senior, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There was no comparison. And I've never seen any boxers before that weren't, because it's all about a weight class and stuff.
That's what shocked me more than anything.
The same size.
Yeah, that's what shocked me. When I seen the size of the two, I was like, whoa, this is two different weight classes. I mean, whether that's a man or a woman, that person shouldn't be fighting that person just on their body types. You know what I mean? Because she was long. She looked like she was about 6 foot. The other girl looked like she was about 5'6". I think she broke her nose. If you ever had your nose broke, that's pretty traumatic. You know what I'm saying?
Your eyes are, you can't even see.
So, as a boxer, I could see why she was like freaked out and just like a little punch too.
Think about her. The lady that got injured, the young woman. She trained all that time in her mind, thinking she's going to fight other women.
Plus, her father died. She's come here to win a gold medal for him. I mean, this was all emotional. That's why she broke down in the ring.
But you're saying we don't know if it's a man or not.
I don't know, because, there's a lot of false information they put out to cover their tracks when they do this dumb stuff. And, the Olympics is all political. This is where they show everything they want to do, all the stupid stuff they've been doing, all the stupid stuff they try to, push on these societies. So it could just be a fake tweet that everybody's sharing now. But I did read that.
Right.
But the whole problem is, like, these people should not be fighting each other just based on the size alone. I mean, and this other girl trained her whole life. Go ahead.
That was my point when I saw him. I said, regardless of man, woman, whatever, they, him, you can't, whatever you want to call it. The size difference in the two people was what really shocked me.
Why can't we have a transgender section? And if you are confused, if you don't know if you are a man or a woman, hey, we'll put you over here and you can fight the rest of the people that are confused and don't know if they're a man or a woman.
That would make too much sense.
Why would you? We just witnessed, if this was a man beating a woman on national TV on the world stage. And where's the Me Too movement? You remember the old Me Too movement that was going to take over the world and protect women? Where are they at? I mean, talk about fake there too.
And yesterday they passed, or Biden signed a new law in Title IX.
Did he?
That if you do not yes, they did sign it yesterday. I don't know when it goes into effect, but if you, at any district, school, or whatever, if you do not let the trans participate in the sport of their choosing, we'll say it that way, instead of that, you are no longer getting any federal funding.
Can I say this?
How about that?
When did we hire our government to decide who can play sports, whether you're transgender or not? That is not the responsibility of the government.
November 3.5 years ago is when we put that into place.
What a disgrace! I mean, that's not the government's function.
I do got to get something correct here. I've got to get this out here. I have friends, good friends, that are homosexuals.
Right,
I do.
For sure.
And I have no problem with that whatsoever.
For sure.
I'm not talking about that. We're talking about this trans deal where they identify themselves as something they're not.
Right.
And my opinion, I think, is wrong.
And 90% of these people are not trans. They just identify as a different sex. There's a few select people that are born with both male and female genitalia. Those are transgender people. Those are something that are very, less than 1.00000% of the population.
Yeah.
But there's people out there now that if you say, oh, I don't like that I look like a man when I'm 10 years old, I want to be a woman, and they pump them full of hormones, oh, you're a woman. That's not how it works. Yeah. You're not transgender. You're messed up in the head, and you need to go see a doctor and get mentally right, because these kids, the documentary I watched was so sad, seeing these 10, 11-year-old kids that their parents pumped them full of hormones, cut their breast off, put testosterone in them, and they're like, oh, my God, what'd I do at 19, 20 years old when they could actually function and think about what was going on legitimately, there was so much regret, so much sadness with it. It's just a terrible thing.
That's terrible.
I mean, it is that is evil. That is really evil. If you're putting hormones and stuff into your 10 or 11-year-old daughter to change their sex, that is evil, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, let me ask you this. So
30 seconds.
Don't cut the power off. What do you think about the Hall of Fame game last night? Or I guess this is like the third year in a row that they've cut it short because of the lightning.
Don't get them started on that kickoff.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the kickoff coverage and everything later today.
That was our second hot topic.
Yeah. It's coming. We're coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Well, I just, to me, it's we've beat this horse to death, and I don't think it's going to wind up. But I'm like you, Coach James. I got friends, I got relatives that are gay, and I have no problem with that.
What you do behind in your bedroom in your house is none of my business.
Right.
Yeah.
Way worse problems out there.
Here's the thing: if we go out there because we're what we are, and we try and incent, and do any of that and change them and everything else, they call us a predator and want to put us in jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, so let's get off of that. Let's get back to sports. I know that Greg Bernicki and all the other guys, the mayor and all them that listen to us, are probably tired of hearing. They want to hear about Florida State Seminoles and the Georgia Tech.
We're going to have a lot of Alabama for them, Rob. So they're going to be upset today.
Is this the Alabama?
All right, we got to go. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
One good thing, we're not talking politics. Do you hear about Social Security? No tax on Social Security if he wins. I hope he win, baby. All right, let's talk about some.
Moving the income tax, too.
Yeah,
Which would be
love it. Do it, Trump. All right, let's talk about some great people. Dr. Chad Mitchell's incredible. If you get injured, go see Chad Mitchell. Guy does an incredible job. He will be on the sidelines this fall at a stadium near you for the 25th year. You listen to Chad every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. I love Rudy's Barbecue, and so will you. Go check it out. They cater. They do an incredible job. They got a huge room in the back, the Lorelei Layton room. You can have a football banquet back there. You have a chamber meeting. You have a birthday party there. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When college football season starts, you can watch ESPN College Game Day right there. You can watch the noon kickoff. You can watch the middle game. You can watch the late night right there all day long at Rudy's Barbecue. It's incredible. Also, Jason, give us some love. Max Fit Sports Nutrition.
Yeah, come down and do your InBody 570. It tracks your skeletal muscle, your body fat. That's free for our customers. We got the free sample bar to try our products out. We got a really good protein. If you want something that's like a healthy meal replacement, low carb, all natural, sweet stevia, come out and try our Intech Evolution protein. Get a free sample. They got a caramel latte flavor that people use as a creamer in their coffee and sugar. 30 grams of protein, 0 sugar, stevia, no sucralose, no aspartame, no colors. So really, really easy on the stomach, but a really, really good healthy meal replacement. And then our organic greens, we've all been talking about that. We all use it. Really good if you're not getting enough fruits and vegetables in, but it tastes amazing. So come down and try some of our products for free at our free sample bar on 23rd Street and in Pier Park.
All right, we get back. Jim Durant, Florida State Seminoles, coming up on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
We're giving away family 4-packs of tickets to see the Atlanta Braves play the Washington Nationals on August 24th during the Week of Winning. Your first chance to win Braves tickets will be with the Coach James Hale Show, Tuesday, August 6th at 7:40. Plus, listen to the Inside Drive and the Afternoon Underdogs for more chances to win during the Week of Winning on your home for the Atlanta Braves.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus, live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive, across from the Navy base. Krispy Kreme presents the Passport to Paris collection of delectable, mouth-watering, gold medal-winning delights. Try the double chocolate eclair or the medal-winning creme brulee, plus raspberry and vanilla cream selections. Can't make it to Paris? No problem. Just stop by Krispy Kreme in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street in Panama City, and the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Both gold medal Krispy Kremes where you get them hot.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Bonafide and qualified.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Certified.
From the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU updates brought to you by Newbies. We just got through talking about John and Charlotte. Love them, wonderful people. Always giving back to the community. Make sure you support them. Newbies 2 on the Curve is open. It's absolutely gorgeous in there. Then you got the Mothership tonight, the best bands ever, every Friday and Saturday night at the Mothership. And we're excited about the new one in St. Andrews. So if you live in town, you don't even have to come across to the bridge, to the beach anymore. If you want to get to a Newbies and have a wonderful time, go do it. And we appreciate that. And tell them that Coach sent you down there and have a great time at all 4 of the Newbies in Bay County. Legendary Newbies. Jim, what do you got for us today?
All right. Well, we're talking about something besides boxing. We're going to talk about Florida State linebackers. And in the past, they've had some really good ones. And in keeping with the nature of college football now, all the guys I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about 3, are all transfer guys, one way or the other. They all have transfers in their story.
I thought he was going to say something else right there when he said trans.
No,
I was like, oh, shit, where did he go again?
How many trans are in Florida State?
Transfers. Okay. First one is a redshirt senior, DJ Lundy. Here's his story. He played at Florida State last year, got his feelings hurt for some reason or other, transfers in the portal to Colorado to Dion.
Uh-oh.
He goes out there. Florida State says, maybe we ought to get him back. So they did something, whatever they did, now he's back. So he was at Florida State, went to Dion, now he's back. DJ Lundy. All right, there's one. The next one played for 4 years at Auburn. He's 6'5", 235. His name's Cam Riley. He played last year, had 17 solos, 14 assists, 2.5 sacks. He's had 46 career games with Auburn. You know, that's good size, 6'5", 235.
Yeah.
Kind of tall for a linebacker, to be honest with you. But still, he was a transfer guy. Then the last one is one of James Hale's heroes. His name is Sean Murphy, who's one of the top-ranked linebackers. He was at Alabama for, I think, 2 years, I think, or at least one season. And he transferred to Florida State also. He's 6'2", 225, got good size. If you look at all the recruiting things back in the day, he was the fashizzle. I mean, he had every award, everything. But here's the crazy thing about this, and you're going to be able to identify with the guy I'm going to talk about. It's Ohio State guy, just as an example.
Right.
Baron Browning, like 4 or 5 years ago, Ohio State, came out of Texas. He was a 5-star. He had like every ranking you could possibly have.
Great athlete.
For a high school player.
Yeah. I
mean, phenomenal. Kind of like the Sean Murphy. They got every rank. They got everything.
Ran a sub 4.5 at 230.
They go to their school, and they hardly even see the field.
Right.
So here's my question. So, most teams now, not most, they all play 2 linebackers. Everybody plays some version of 4-2-5, 4 down guys, 2 linebackers, a nickel guy, a flat defender, and then 4 DBs. So I don't know which position these guys are going to have. They're not all going to play because nobody, unless it's the goal line, plays 3 linebacker sets. So I would think that Cam Riley would be one for sure. 46 games in the SEC, you got to think he's going to play for sure somewhere. Right. And probably that Murphy. We'll see. But it's just kind of crazy to me. It's like everybody gets all worked up about the rankings, but that doesn't always translate. There was another one. We can go back in Ohio State. Curtis Grant in 2014. He was the number one player in America as a linebacker. Yeah. Number one. The only year he played was the year they were national champs. Couldn't get on the field.
Yeah. He was a little stiff in the lower body.
Yeah, so you never know with these rankings, if they can really play at that level or not, So I think what hurts a lot of guys when they go to transition to college at linebacker, I think a lot of high school guys, they don't get the greatest coaching all the time.
Right.
And it's just go get the ball. Go find them a lineup and just go tackle the ball. And that's easy to say because a lot of times you don't have a lot of help with coaching and you don't have a lot of players and your best guy, well, we'll just put him at linebacker and he'll just run and make a lot of plays.
Right.
And I don't know if that's true with these guys, but I think that mentality exists to some extent. And then you get to the big time, it's like there's stuff going on all over the place.
Yeah. That's what happened with Baron Browning. I mean, he got decent coaching out of State, but that was kind of the era when they had some bad defensive coaches up there.
Yeah.
His best position, because he's been way better at the NFL than he was at Ohio State. Right. He was a good linebacker at Ohio State, but he wasn't great, the All-American that we all thought he was. But
it was a great job for the Broncos.
They made him a rush defensive end. I mean, they put him in that little, I don't know if you call it a viper or whatever. Everybody has a different name for it, but he's rushing the passer and getting a lot of sacks. His problem was diagnosing plays with RPOs and being able to be in the pass game. It is. It's very confusing nowadays because you can have offensive lineman 3 yards down the field now, and there's no penalty on that. So you're thinking run, you're engaging and trying to fill your hole, and then all of a sudden the ball flies over your head to a slant.
And stop and think about how a lot of teams attack. This is how Michigan beat Alabama on the goal line for that first touch. Those crossers,
Oh yeah.
They get the backs. They start this way, then they come all the way. And that linebacker, he's looking over here. Next thing you know, the guy he's supposed to have is catching the ball 10 yards the other direction.
And they have the running back run off tackle, and they're running right at the defensive end, and they pull it back. Defensive end's crashing down, and they just throw it right over his head in the flat. I think 2 or 3 times against Michigan or against Alabama they did that. Just good play design, to be honest.
I couldn't believe just a simple counter and counter option, counter pass destroyed Alabama. I was like, you got to be kidding. And they did it a couple times in a bunch set, which is we did it too, and it helps.
And I think that's why Murphy's at Florida State.
Yeah. So I don't know if these who'll be the starters, but like you say, you got those are the 3 that seem to have the most experience, and only 2 of them are going to play. And I'm kind of like you. I think a lot of times coaches in general overthink stuff. I'll give you another example that James and I, Javon Curse, okay, he played at North Fort Myers.
The original freak.
In high school, he was a free safety.
Wow.
He played safety. He was 6'4", 220.
Yeah.
He goes to Florida, gets big, gets bigger. And in 1997, I was the head coach at Coral Shores High School down in Key Largo. And Rod Broadway, the defensive line coach at Florida, was recruiting our school. And Curse was still at Florida. I said, what are you going to do with Curse? I mean, he's a big body, great athlete. He goes, I want to see his hand in the dirt. I want to see him rush the passer. And I think a lot of times, you overthink this. I think Sonny Styles is another one. Right. He's 6'5", 230, guys. He's not a safety. Put his hand on the ground and rush the passer.
He's going to be a linebacker this year because Caleb Downs took his spot.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just talking about those are just examples. But I think it happens a lot of places. They try to overanalyze. They make stuff too complicated. And we always said as coaches, you can't play good, you can't play well if you're not playing fast. Especially defense, you gotta react like this. You can't be going. I'm not sure.
And you can't think. You got to react.
You got to react.
And I think that's where coaches kind of follow in this. They see this amazing athlete, Styles, runs a 4.45. He's 225 pounds. They're like, okay, he can play safety. But when you talk about diagnosing plays, instincts and stuff like that, that takes a lot of your speed away. If you're sitting there back there thinking frozen and looking everywhere, that speed doesn't mean anything.
That's exactly.
He needs
true.
a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, something where he can attack downhill. He doesn't have to think if he's got to be in the back end or if he's the safety that has the last quarter of the field. So he just needs to be up near the line of scrimmage, attacking downhill, rushing the passer, and just take the mind and thinking out of the situation.
And I'd be willing to bet that one of those guys is going to fill that role at Florida State. I would think that just by body size, Cam Riley, 6'5", 235, that's a big old kid. So that's
one spot I am a little worried about Florida State at.
All right, let's. We'll be right. I got time to do a couple? Good job, Jim. Let's talk about some of our great people. Turpro Pest Control. Patrick does an incredible job. Their company, their trucks throughout Bay Point all the time. You want that yard to look absolutely gorgeous, call Patrick. They'll come up with a game plan. They execute it, and your yard is going to look absolutely beautiful. It'll be stunning. It'll be unbelievable. Call Patrick. Turpro Pest Control, #1. Paparazzi Pizza. Hey, it's Friday night, baby. It's time to get yourself a pizza. Go down to Paparazzi, have a great time. Make sure, if you don't want pizza, get lasagna, get spaghetti. They got all kind of great food down there, but save some room for the dessert. They've got the best desserts you'll get anywhere. The Paradise Cake is incredible. The carrot cake down there, the Napoleon. Make sure you get dessert. They also have a bar down there now. Paparazzi on Thomas Drive. Their pizza's incredible. You get this daily special. Go buy 2 slices of pizza and a drink for about $11 and change. Those huge slices of pizza. It's almost like a pizza at some places. You'll love Paparazzi. I guarantee you that. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer can be deadly. 5 minutes can save your life. We got offices throughout Northwest Florida. We got the legendary Dr. Ward will make sure you're okay. 5 minutes, he can save your life. He'll look, he'll tell you, he'll take care of you. That is Dr. Ward. Stay out of the sun between 10 and 4, or either keep your skin protected if you're out in the sun between then. That's the dangerous time of the day. And we just talked about newbies on Thank Him Again for the FSU update. Love John, love Charlotte, wonderful people. Always giving back to the community. Make sure we support them. We do have a brand new one now in town. And St. Andrews doing really well. So get over there. Check it out. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yeah.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your touchdown headquarters for the Mosley Dolphins and the Auburn Tigers.
Touchdown, Auburn!
Plus, premier college and NFL games. Touchdown! Incredible! Your source for the most live football on the Gulf Coast in a rich audio experience.
ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, scattered thunderstorms and some sun and a high of 90 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 83. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and a temperature near 91. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 90 and a chance of thunderstorms and light showers. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
The Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, yeah. Play it, baby. That's a good one. That's a goodie.
She's got eyes open.
Okay. That was good. That's
Jason.
good.
Wow.
Take it away, Wildcat. Oh, Wildcat.
That's a good one there, baby.
That was Axl Rose. That was not Jason.
We are back. 104.3.
Axel Foley, somebody.
ESPN Northwest
You know
Florida.
how many lightning strikes there are on average in the month of July in here in Florida?
20,000.
Go down to Southwest
That's what
Florida.
I would guess, but they say the average is 5,707.
See, here we don't get it like they do down Southwest Florida. You got to come inside 3 o'clock. You better get indoors.
I think it's at Broward County and Titusville. That's like Lightning Alley. What was the name?
Yeah,
Brevard,
Brevard.
B-R-E-V. Yeah, Brevard County.
Yeah.
They from between there and Titusville, which is where Cape Canaveral and all that stuff is. That's known as Lightning Alley.
Well, the lightning capital of the world is Lee County, Florida. I heard them always say
amen.
that. And I'm not kidding you. When I was there for 11 years or 10, whatever it was, at 3 o'clock, you set your clock. Around 3 o'clock, you better get off the golf course. It's going to rain. It's going to be lightning like you've never seen.
Orlando's the same way because it's landlocked in the middle of the state. There's no sea breeze, but all that moisture kind of builds up off the shore, and it comes right in over Orlando, and you get some nasty weather.
I think it's my backyard.
It could be.
I got some video to prove it.
Well, had you been...
Well,
were you feeling pretty good at the time?
You have to do something.
Remember now, you say a lot of things, and when you've been doing certain things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, hey, I want to get this in because you were talking about me. You were talking about it. I used to go listen to Coach Stallings when he would be somewhere close to where we were at. I'd try to go listen to him. He's at a coaching clinic. And he loved Coach Bryant. He played for Coach Bryant at Texas A&M and coached with him. He said Coach Bryant would tell him that football is basically 3 things. If they couldn't do these 3 things, they couldn't play for him. Sight, movement, contact. And when he said sight, he means at sight, you got to identify what's going on and be able to get there. If you couldn't comprehend what's going on at sight, you couldn't play. That's what they meant by sight.
Right, identify.
You're talking about linebackers out of place and stuff like that. If you did that, like you weren't going to play for him. Movement, sight, find the ball. Movement, get to the ball. And number 3, make contact. He said back in the old days, he didn't care how big a kid was. He'd watch a film. He said he'd point out a kid. I can't remember the guy's name. He was a good player at Alabama, really good. They were recruiting another player. And a big guy could play, and Coach Bryant goes, I don't care about him. Who is number 54?
Yeah.
He said, that kid is what we want. And he was all over the field, but he wasn't very big. Maybe it was Jerry Duncan. Maybe that's the guy's name. But anyway, that's when they went both ways, and you didn't have to be that huge.
Right.
And things changed in the 70s when you started just having offensive and defensive players. People got bigger, and you had to play half of the time instead of every single snap. But sight, movement, contact, if you couldn't do one of those 3 things, you couldn't play.
Right.
It's just that. CBS Sports come out with their preseason top 100. Well, they ranked all the teams, and I do have these. Number 1 was the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 2 was Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 3, Oregon. Number 4, Texas. That's all Big Ten SEC if you're not paying attention. Number 5, Alabama. Number 6, Ole Miss. Number 7, Penn State. Number 8, Notre Dame. Number 9, Michigan. Number 10, Utah. Out of the top 10, they were all from the Big Ten SEC except for 2.
Yeah.
Number 11, Missouri, SEC. Number 12, LSU. Number 13, Florida State. Number 14, Clemson. They don't not get a lot of love to the ACC.
No Miami yet.
Number 15, Tennessee. Number 16, Miami. I'm like you. Watch out for Miami if he puts it together.
That quarterback's really good. If he plays really well, they got some offense.
They might be the surprise team.
Yeah.
Who knows? They got to show me though.
Right.
Number 17, Kansas State. Number 18, Oklahoma. Number 19, Oklahoma State. Number 20, Texas A&M. Number 21, out of the Big Ten, Southern Cal. That's weird. Still, Southern Cal. 22, Arizona. 23, Iowa. 24, NC State. 25, Kansas. So we will see how that plays out.
That's
talk about way too early.
Coaches on the hot seat, they're under a lot of pressure. Lincoln Riley is squarely on the hot seat.
After this is his 3rd year?
Yeah, but after last year with having Caleb Williams, the best quarterback in NCAA history, and coming back and losing, 4 games? I mean, if they don't put it together this year and don't put a competent defense out there, I don't see the people at USC get behind him still. I mean, they
got plenty of money to get rid of him, too.
They have plenty of money. They have plenty of resources. They can really buy any player they want, and that's what the game is right now.
All right, be honest with me. If you're a kid, okay, just say you're a great player from the state of Florida. They recruit all the country like we go into California. Everybody's going out there getting players from the Southeastern Conference. They used to never do that.
Right.
Ohio State gets them. All right. you're from an area, you go to Southern Cal from any other state or somewhere nearby there, and you go to Ohio State's game, Alabama's game, Florida, their stadiums are packed out.
Yeah.
There's over 100,000 people at the game. It's all people love and care about. You go to L.A., first of all, you got to go through that traffic to get to the campus.
Right.
They probably fly you in. If they don't, they drive in, which would be worse for a kid sitting in traffic all the time. You get there, the stadium's half empty. I mean, UCLA, no one even goes to their games.
You probably got to still wear a mask to play.
That's right. I'm saying, why would you want to go play at USC when it used to be one of the best jobs in all of college football?
Some of this doesn't make sense to me. Like Miami, I don't know how they're recruiting. You want to play in front of 25,000 people instead of 80? I mean, I don't get that. But, you know.
If they're paying you big money,
that's my point. I think they're getting big money. I mean, USC is a blue blood. I mean, their brand is strong. I mean, it's not as strong as it used to be, but moving to the Big Ten, I think it might help them a little bit. They need to change their style of football.
It didn't help Nebraska.
He was not hitting in practice. Like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, Lincoln Riley was not hitting in practice. If you want to know why those defenses were soft, that's the exact reason it is. You have to hit and condition your body because it's a physical sport. I remember coming into spring camp, you know, we did 3-a-days, and when we were hitting, that was the toughest time of the year. I mean, everybody hit. And if you weren't getting hit, well, usually when you got into the season, you'd get dinged up a little bit because you're not used to taking that, you know, there's bruises and things you go home with every single night from a practice when you hit, but your body gets conditioned to be able to maintain that and play through it. But if you don't hit in practice and you see your defense not willing to tackle people, there's a direct correlation between that, and that needs to change.
They were the worst tackle team I've ever seen.
And when I heard they weren't tackling in practice, I know Kirby, I know Saban, the week of the game are hitting up till Thursday of game week.
Yeah.
And that's because they want to maintain that physicality, and that's the edge that I don't even know if Ryan Day understands at this point. You know what I mean? That's the biggest knock on them. Being tough and being physical are two different things. Being physical means
I'll be honest with you, Michigan was more physical than I thought.
They are, but he's got a history of that.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing you can't take away from Harbaugh
NFL, he knows what he's doing.
All his teams are physical.
Jim, let me ask you, your sister lives out there. What do you think, will the fans come back, they start winning? There's so many other things to do out there, and it's just different out there. Football is not as big in L.A. it is in other parts of the country.
I think USC's got a chance. I think UCLA's done. That's just me. I mean, they've been down for a long time. When's the last time UCLA was relevant in football?
30 years ago,
yeah,
maybe.
I can't even think of one.
2005.
USC, I think they got a shot. I think they're more the fan favorite. They got a big old stadium. Because you ever seen a Coliseum? That's a big stadium. But they don't fill it out. They have a chance, but they got to start playing better defense. You just have to.
I think they need more of like a Pete Carroll guy. I mean, Pete Carroll, the reason...
look how good they were with Pete Carroll. They were outstanding.
They were the top program in the country at the time. They may not have won every national championship game, but they were the school at the time with all the talent, the swagger, all that. But they have to get back to that and playing defense and playing physical, or else they're just going to fall off just like UCLA.
All you Big Ten fans out here, I thought this was kind of interesting, and I wrote it down. I knew you guys were going to be in here today. Big Ten basketball tournament, women and men and women, they're going to do something different. They're going to take it to Vegas. Men's and women's basketball heading to Las Vegas. Now, the women, March 3rd through the 7th, 2024, or was it 2027? 2027 will be in Vegas. March 1st through March 5th in 2028, they're going to be in Detroit. And
Detroit makes sense. Vegas makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. Well, listen to this. Now, this is men's. Listen, that was the males. Yeah. This is the males. 2025, March 6th, 12th through the 16th, Indianapolis. Then from the 2026, March 11th through the 15th, it's going to be in Chicago.
That makes sense.
Well, you want to get killed. And then from 2028, March 8th to March 12th, Las Vegas. So are they going to be pulling somebody in that part of the country to be in the Big Ten anytime soon?
No.
I don't get this.
They're being paid by somebody.
I think you're right.
The only thing I can think of is just because the West Coast teams, maybe it's the most neutral place for all of them to be able to join their
that's what it is.
So I don't like it because there's no Big Ten team within 2 states of that area, so it's going to be a lot of travel for everybody. I'd rather see them just go all the way out to L.A. and just throw them a bone and go to a place.
Remember their big Pac-12 championship one year was in Vegas.
Right.
They had a conference get together in Vegas one time. So that's what you're right. That's what it is. Yeah. Those West Coast, and I guarantee you, Vegas is probably paying them a pretty good bit of money. The Big Ten to bring it into Vegas.
Sure, yeah. They pay a lot of money for Chicago. Even
that's why you own two businesses. I didn't even think about.
Indianapolis is to me the place that most of the fans are easily able to get to. It's a fan-friendly area. The parking's really good. The stadiums are really good. They got football, basketball. They got everything they need there. So that's usually the place that everybody seems to love. Chicago, that's a different anomaly. So is Detroit, but I know they're trying to build up those communities, and those are Big Ten, Midwestern cities, so I understand that. I'm not sure I like the Vegas one. If we're going to throw the West Coast teams a bone, just go to L.A. where their fans are, and at least have some home fans that are able to go to the games.
Special Marine warning. National Weather Service, special Marine warning. Be careful. Be careful.
Do you have CETO?
It looks pretty gnarly out there right now.
If we don't have CETO, don't go. How am I going to get CETO?
Can we get CETO just for being on land right now? I mean, we might get washed away.
we might be
hang around for a while, and they'll be able to come rescue you.
I tell you what, though, if we want to go get some jewelry, where are we going to go?
You're going to David Adamson Fine Jewelry and Design. You're going to
Russ, help me out.
You're going to talk to Russ.
Amber.
You're going to talk to him about his 49ers, and you're going to talk to Amber. I don't know who her favorite football team is, but we're going to find out.
49ers.
And they're looking to have an estate sale coming up here pretty soon. And just in time for Christmas, they're going to start a little layaway plan. And they just got a shipment of brand new jewelry. So all this stuff you saw last week, Coach, when you was up there.
They got great stuff. They got some great stuff
up there. Great prices. They're willing to work with you, and it's easy to find at 830 Ohio Avenue. That's 830 Highway 77 in Lynn Haven. David Adamson Fine Jewelry.
Get out to Beef O'Brady's. After you go down to that fine jewelry store, head on to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Have a great meal. The 10 for 10 is going on. TV's everywhere. You can watch the Olympics. You can watch Major League Baseball. You do whatever you want to do right there at Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Don't forget Wednesday, 10 wings and a side for $9.99. And I will say Pat Purnell is one of the greatest guys I know. Always giving back to the community. He is the city commissioner in Lynn Haven, does an incredible job. Whoo, baby, if I forgot anything, if I missed anybody the first hour, have I? Somebody talk to me. I think we got everybody.
Got everybody.
I think we did a good job. We'll be right back. Hopefully Jeff Spiegel will be with us talking about Alabama and Auburn, 104.3. ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
But Shazam was an app that told you what the music was that was playing.
And I know Gomer Powell used to say Shazam.
Gomer Powell, boy.
Shazam.
Yes, sir.
See, we wouldn't have got to that moment on today's show had we not done this app bracket.
Absolutely not, man.
It wouldn't have happened.
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, scattered thunderstorms and some sun and a high of 90 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 83. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and a temperature near 91. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 90 and a chance of thunderstorms and light showers. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hewitt Tire and Auto. Call 850-769-7323. Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing. Visit them online at HewittTire.com on Airport Road in Panama City. 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Need a tow? Call Billy at Hometown Towing, 850-265-1562.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yes, we got. Do we have? Roll Tide, roll. We were checking the weather out. You caught me.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Special Marine warning.
Have you been into my bottle again?
Yeah, that's some good stuff you got right there.
Why does it catch on
prime
fire?
time. All right, we got it. Let's bring him on from out of the great state of Alabama. Jeff Spiegel from ABC. This guy's a stud. We got him. Jeff, good morning, sir.
Coach, I've never been called a stud, so this is a first.
Hey, you ain't been listening to them women. They love you, baby.
Welcome
you are a stud. You got a lot of fans down here. They people come from Alabama and they come vacation. They get to hear your voice here. We were somewhere and somebody mentioned that, and we talked about my daughter works for him in Birmingham, so it was pretty cool. Let me ask you, Alabama's starting practice at a different time. Everything's different up there. How's it going for the Crimson Tide? They're on the field. They're preparing for week 1 of the season. You hearing good things? You hearing negative things? What's the difference between coach and the GOAT?
Well, I think the main difference is here's the vibe I'm getting. I was wondering as we started into this, preseason camp, how much talk would there still be about Saban and all that? Have fans moved on, to DeBoer? Have the players moved on to the new head coach? And to me, it's been pretty seamless. And I think that's a tribute to DeBoer. I think it's a tribute to Saban. I think it's a tribute to Greg Byrne for hiring the right guy. I think it's a tribute to DeBoer for putting together a good staff. I mean, it just seems like things have just picked up, right where they left off. And to me, the morning practices, one thing that all these players have found out, and most of them already knew, that at 9 o'clock in the morning in July and August, it's still pretty dang hot, So people would ask me that go, they don't need to be practicing in the morning because, those first few games is going to be played in the heat and all that stuff. It's hot at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I think it's gone pretty well. I think from the reaction of the players, the first couple of workouts, it's been very positive. I think the energy of practice has been good. I love watching DeBoer being real active in a ball security drill, trying to knock the ball out of these running backs' hands with the big pole and everything. He's really getting into it. You got Kane Womack out there in a sweatshirt and like a heat index of 110, and guys are working hard and getting on guys, and it's just everything you'd want to practice you get there.
We mentioned this the other day. I think it might have been Monday. And, he's never recruited in the SEC. He's doing a great job in recruiting. But let's be honest, if you're at Alabama, you're at Ohio State, you're at Texas, you should be able to recruit at a pretty high level. You got the facilities, you got the tradition. People want to go to these schools. They dream about playing there. You play for national championships. You go to the NFL. He's doing a great job. He really is. I'm proud of him. But does he quite understand, and he probably does, I could be off on this, but when I saw these kids flipping from Auburn, flipping our players like pancakes, I was like, did they realize once they commit, that means you got to keep recruiting them even harder because the other teams are going to keep coming after them. I know he knows that, but does that surprise you any that we've had so many flip?
No, I mean, I think he totally gets it. I mean, I think he knows, he's in for a battle because, Hugh Freeze is a great recruiter. I mean, not just a good recruiter, he's a great recruiter. And he knows that, this is part of the gig that, Alabama's got tradition, but nothing's going to be handed to them. And I think he gets that. I think the players get that. I think they know, despite the troubles that, Hugh Freeze had last year, everyone thought, that this guy was going to get it going, eventually. He hasn't gotten it going yet. We still have a football season to be played, yet at Auburn. But I think DeBoer gets it. I think the players get it, and I think they know that we're kind of getting the rivalry back to where it's supposed to be.
Let me ask you this:
where Alabama and Auburn are going to be battling for the league title.
Let me ask you this: Jason brought this up the other day.
Yeah.
Most of these schools are paying kids to come visit. I mean, a $5,000 visit and stuff like that. I don't know if Alabama or Auburn's doing that. If they are, it makes sense of a family that's got an elite player. Well, go take the visit, son. You get another $5,000. You can still go to Alabama. Just go take a visit and see. They get there. It can be Auburn, it could be Georgia, it could be anybody. And they promise them more NIL money. They do this and that. So he commits to that school. And you really, truly, you don't know what's going to happen until they sign their name on the dotted line. So the flipping probably will continue both ways.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of a bidding war, right? I mean, it's different. Recruiting's different than it was, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so everybody's kind of learning how to play the game, but one thing coaches are really good at, is making adjustments. I mean, these are guys who are used to making adjustments. You go into the locker room at halftime. You make adjustments as to what you did wrong in the first half and what you can do better in the second half. And so, the best coaches are going to be the ones who can kind of adjust and learn as they go here.
All right. Anything you're hearing? I know it's early. I mean, they only practice today. I guess will be the third day. But anybody standing out at practice? Anybody catch your eye? Have you heard anything good, negative, positive, happy, sad, anything like that?
Well, yesterday Womack spoke, and also Mo Linguist spoke, and they both raved about Jalen Mbakwe. And this is a guy who we looked at, at Clay Chalk Bowl. He quarterbacked the Cougars to a state championship last year. So much poise as a quarterback. This is a guy who played DB, up until his junior year. And Drew Gilmer said, this is the best guy we have on the field. I mean, he's got to be our quarterback. So he took him. He still played him some at DB. But he had to move him at quarterback because he was the guy who gave them the best chance to win week in and week out. And this is a guy who's got just greatness written all over him. And
I'm good.
In the spring, he was terrific. And the first couple of days, he's really stood out as well.
All right. We were talking, Jeremy Pridge and I were talking the other day about Nick Saban. They're going to dedicate the field to Nick on the second, I think it's the second game. And we were looking. I said, I guarantee you it has something to do with College Game Day, because I think College ESPN Game Day is going to be at the Texas. I know maybe it's at Texas A&M Notre Dame game. I can't remember. And then they're going to be the day they dedicate the stadium. They're going to be, I think, at the Michigan Texas game, which is a noon kickoff, so he can get to Bryant-Denny Stadium for the dedication. He definitely is going to be there. Has that been confirmed?
Oh, I would think so. I would think that stuff's already been lined up. The schedules have already been, made up for him to be there, because that's just going to be an incredible night, to just honor a guy who's done so much, for the program, so much for the city, and so much for the state. So yeah, I'm sure all that's been squared away, and it's going to be a great night for sure.
And yeah, to take over a job like that, where when that'll be the loudest it'll be the entire game when they introduce him and honor him. But you imagine looking out there and saying, dang, I got to follow this guy. It don't matter what I do. I won 7 national championships. They may think I'm as good as he is.
Right.
But I tell you what, though, everything about the new coach, everything I've seen I like. I just know how hard it's going to be able to win down the SEC with Texas and Oklahoma coming in. Things are different now that I've never seen. I remember growing up, they had 2 weeks to get ready for the Iron Bowl. And then they changed that, and they had a cupcake before the Iron Bowl. Now Alabama's playing Oklahoma, and Auburn's playing Texas A&M a week before they play each other. That's crazy.
Like the rest of the country does.
Exactly. Welcome to our world.
That's a good point there.
That's great.
Oh, you see what I deal with? Man. Anyway,
we gotta keep them honest over here. This is an Alabama fluff piece here.
I guess so. I mean, who did Ohio State play before they played Michigan?
Penn State.
Did they really?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think it was
Akron.
Oh, you may. Oh,
Akron.
No, it wasn't Akron.
Hey, listen, we got to take a break. We're going to hold you over, if that's okay. Ask a couple questions about Auburn. Then I'm going to give you an exam. You got 8 or 9 questions you're going to have to answer because people want to know your opinion. And I will tell you how you do when we get through answering the questions. But right now, let's think Stevenson Air Conditioning for the Alabama update. If you have any type of problem, we know we got some bad weather coming in. We got some bad weather right now going on out there. But if this storm comes, you have any type of damage, you make sure you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll come out and correct everything that's wrong. They do a great job. He's the most honest guy I ever dealt with. Steve Jason's incredible. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1, taking care of everybody throughout Northwest Florida. Locals taking care of locals. That's what we need to do. South Oak Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker, the group they got down there does an amazing job. All those big real estate deals going on 30A that Mark Howard closes on, multi-million-dollar homes. They all use South Oak Title and Closing, so should you. And don't forget about J. Michael's Restaurant today. The crisp fish is outstanding. Grilled fish, peppers and onions, over bed of rice and a special sauce. It's incredible. Best seafood, coldest beer, the legendary J. Michael's. Don't forget about Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Go see Jason Kovaleski. Look at me. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Braves play the Nationals on Saturday, August 24th during the Week of Winning. Your first chance to win is going to be Tuesday at 7:40 during the Coach Hale Morning Show. Just be caller 10 at 850-215-6290 and remember the phrase that pays. Chop on.
ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, scattered thunderstorms and some sun and a high of 90 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 83. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and a temperature near 91. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 90 and a chance of thunderstorms and light showers. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control. They take pride in caring for their customers' property by providing lawn and whole house pest control. Whether you have roaches or any other unwanted bugs in your home, Turf Pro has you covered. Or if your lawn needs weed control, fertilize, insect control, Turf Pro has you covered by providing custom treatments to meet your property's needs. No property is the same, so why should it be treated that way? Turf Pro, where the blue and yellow trucks make your lawn green. Call 850-890-5820.
Hewitt Tire and Auto and Hometown Towing is a combination that's hard to beat. With years and years of experience in vehicle repair, foreign and domestic, name brand tires and fair prices have established Hewitt Tire and Auto as a leader that folks can call on again and again. And if you need a tow, call Hometown Towing at 850-265-1562. Hewitt Tire and Auto and Hometown Towing, an unbeatable combination. Airport Road, Panama City.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show.
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble, but
just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey! Oh, James Gualmar, listen, and Jenna, love them, wonderful people. All you Auburn fans out there, get out to Beef Oak Racing and have a great meal today, tonight, and tomorrow. You can watch the Olympics. You can watch baseball. You can do it all right there. Once you walk in, it's like going back to Cheers. It's like they know your name. You walk in, they got smiles on their face. The service is incredible. The food's outstanding. Pat, you do a beautiful job over there. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven, go have a great time. They got the 10 for 10 going on always. Auburn Update, brought to you by Beef O'Brady's. Jeff Spiegel. Jeff, let me ask you this. Auburn, what are you hearing? I think Auburn's going to be good this year. I really do. If they can protect the quarterback, if he produces like, if he doesn't, I think they'll have that freshman in there. But Auburn's got better players. They should be better. Their schedule's difficult. I know that. But what are you hearing so far out of Auburn, Alabama?
Well, I tell you, I work at a TV station, and there are a bunch of people at that TV station who love sports. And there's a mixture. There's a mixture of Alabama fans. There's a mixture of Auburn fans. And I was talking to one of the most confident Alabama fans in the building yesterday, and he said this. He said, Auburn scares me. Auburn's making me nervous. And it's not just about, the flipping. He said, the guy who makes me nervous on that football team is number 8, Cam Coleman. He says that guy is scary good. Now we haven't seen him play yet in college, but gosh almighty, he sure looks the part. In practice, he looked the part in A-Day, and that's a guy that I think is Alabama fans are looking at as could be Auburn's version of Julio Jones. He's wearing the same jersey number, and he could be. Coleman and Ryan Williams are going to be. Fighting for the Biletnikoff Award, maybe not this year, but their sophomore years and junior years for sure.
Yeah, I've heard he's a stud. There's no doubt about that. Wasn't he committed to Alabama at one time?
Yeah, I think so. My memory fails me a little bit, but
he was.
But yeah, this guy. But they got more than Coleman. They've got Perry Thompson. They've got Malcolm Simmons, a kid who we covered, and Benjamin Russell, and then Keandre Lambert-Smith. There's so many guys that can catch the football, and that's one thing. That's one reason Peyton Thorne is more confident than he was a year ago. Is the fact that last season ended like just terribly. It was a disaster. But Hugh Freeze, did a lot of things to fix it. And when you're a quarterback and your coach has confidence in you, but not only that, gives you the tools that you need to get to win. If he gets a little more time than he did last year in the pocket, then I think Peyton Thorne can do some serious damage.
People forget they got a great running back at Auburn also. They're going to be able to, if that line can protect, they can run block, pass protection, Auburn's going to be pretty good.
And I think some of his best plays were running plays. When he played Georgia, he didn't throw very well, but he ran the ball very well, and that was actually a really close game. And if Auburn covers the tight end with more than one guy, they might win the game.
Yeah. Well, they got a new defensive coordinator, so I think things are better.
They need one.
All right, are you ready for your exam?
This is going to be a Southern Miss.
Well, this takes me back to my high school geometry and trigonometry days where I failed just about every one of them. But go ahead.
Well, we want to tell you, we want to ask you these questions because you called it on our show last August. You said about Jimbo Fisher, and you were correct. Got our attention.
You got him fired. Congratulations.
Whatever happened to Petrino? Whatever happened to Petrino?
He's at Arkansas. They got him at Arkansas. Sam Pittman hired him.
Okay.
All right. SEC. We'll jump to SEC first. Number one question. Billy Napier will get fired after he loses to Kentucky. Yes or no? Billy Napier will be fired after he loses to Kentucky.
I don't think he gets fired mid-season, but I think he gets fired at the end of the year. I don't think I don't see many good things happening for Florida this year.
Okay,
they got to beat Miami. If they don't, then they're going to be their coaching search is going to go on. Well, whether they fire him in season like he's talking about, that might be a different animal. But if he doesn't beat Miami, it's going to be over.
2 names to remember right here.
Horrible.
I told you right here. I told you about it 6 months ago. Lane Kiffin to Florida. Or the guy at Missouri.
I think Lane would be a perfect fit at Florida. Just his offensive mind, Spurrier, that kind of, his coach.
He's coached the state of Florida before.
Yeah.
All right, here's your second question.
Yeah, I would agree.
Texas will be in the SEC championship game.
Yes.
Okay, write that down.
I'm calling not so fast, my friend. I got Alabama, Georgia. I'm picking Alabama with SEC until they show me something different with DeBoer and Milroe. His second year in the offense, starting again. I think it's going to be different than what people think. And I know Alabama, it's not Saban, it's not this. No, it's not. But they got a lot of talent. They got 85% blue chip ratio, higher than anybody in the SEC, even Georgia. I think Georgia's going to struggle a little bit on offense. I don't see the weapons on the perimeter that I see for both of these elite teams. And I think if Alabama can average the amount of points that Washington scored, he's got way better talent now, and I think he's that good of a coach. I got Alabama winning the SEC and playing Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Wrong. Missouri and Ole Miss will play in the SEC championship. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. All right, number 3. Georgia will not make the SEC championship game.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be Texas, and I think it's going to be either Alabama or Georgia, and then that September 28th game is huge, and I'll just the winner of that game goes to the SEC championship game, and I think we find out a lot about Georgia, and I think we find out a lot about Alabama that day because you can't just say Alabama's got Georgia at home and they're going to win. I mean that's not going to be automatic because Georgia's kind of like Kentucky now in basketball. They don't care where they play. Yeah. And they don't care where they play. I mean they feel like they can win anywhere they go. So the winner of that game goes to Atlanta.
Jeff, the question was Georgia. I'm putting you on the spot. Georgia will not make the SEC championship game. Yes or no? Miss Harris, the question, yes or no? Answer the question.
Yes.
Okay, yes. All right.
Yes, they will not make the SEC championship.
All right, you heard it here first. Alabama wins 9-10 games at best this season, regular season.
That would be a no. I think Alabama wins 11 games.
Dang. There you go.
11 out of 12.
Yeah, you've been listening to Kovaleski. All right. Number 5. Kentucky beats either Georgia or Tennessee.
Refresh my memory. Where's Kentucky playing Tennessee?
I don't know. Look it up, Jason.
Let me get on that goggle real quick.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this right now. There's no way in the world they're going to beat Georgia.
I'm with you.
I mean, Kentucky's never going to beat Georgia.
They're not going to beat Tennessee either.
Kentucky,
I don't think.
They're not going to beat Tennessee either. No, I mean, I think Kentucky's ceiling is going to a bowl game every year.
Yeah.
And that's because the fans are satisfied with that. If they can go to a bowl game every year, they're good with that. They got no designs on beating Georgia or Tennessee or winning an SEC championship. It's all about basketball there. If they can go to bowl games every year, Mark Stoops can coach there until he's 80.
I just think Tennessee's quarterback is going to be outstanding. I think Tennessee's good. I think you got to watch out for them. All right, number 6. Mississippi State finishes last in the SEC. Not Vandy, but Mississippi State. Yes or no?
No. Vanderbilt's going to finish last. Mississippi State next to last.
I'm with you on that. All right, here's another one. Vandy upsets. Let me correct this. Vandy wins an SEC game because that would be the upset. Does Vandy win an SEC game?
I don't see their whole schedule in front of me right now, but I'm going to go ahead and say no.
I think you're right. All right, South Carolina. He's under pressure. He's on the hot seat. I don't think he should be, but he is. They finish under 500. South Carolina finishes under 500.
I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say Shane Beamer won't be back next year if that's the case.
Okay. Heard it here from Jeff. All right, the last question. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm really proud of you. You've done wonderful job. You've got most of them correct. The big one.
Are there any multiple choice?
You got them all right except for the Kentucky stuff.
Yeah. Wildcat said you got the Kentucky question wrong. But here's the last question for you today. Auburn goes into Tuscaloosa. Auburn wins the Iron Bowl. They beat Bama in Tuscaloosa. Now, you just had one of your big Bama fans there at work tell you he's worried about the Tigers. Auburn's had success when Bryant Diddy in the past, especially when Tuberville was there. But we were on probation also. Who wins the Iron Bowl? Does Auburn beat Bama this year in the Iron Bowl in Tuscaloosa?
If Auburn's playing this game at Jordan-Hare, there's a shot. But since Auburn's playing at Bryant-Denny, I mean, there's absolutely no shot. It's going to be a competitive game. I think it's going to be a close game. But, Auburn, no way they beat Alabama at Bryant-Denny this year.
Sir, I think you got a perfect score. I think if you're in the high 90s, it's not perfect, it's in the high 90s. All right, hey, thank you so much for hanging on for 30 minutes. You got a busy weekend. You're going to be okay this weekend?
Yeah, I'll kick back and relax for a little while. There's not. I've been watching some Olympic golf on TV and just trying to relax before we get into the grind here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to football season and talking to you guys every Friday.
That sounds good, man. You have a great weekend. Thank you so much for coming on. And remember, if you need me anytime, day or night, I can be on TV. He never takes me up on it. I walk in the studio, he's live. He turns his head like he doesn't know me.
You can take over for Lee Corso and just mumble through everything.
Hey, thank you, Jeff. Have a great weekend, buddy.
Coach, we got to get a lot of makeup if you're going to be on
TV. Bye. See you later. All right. We want to thank Beefo Bracelet Haven for the Auburn update. We want to thank Wildcat for everything you do back there. You do an amazing job. Without you,
thank you very much.
Without you, it wouldn't be the same.
What do you want?
It ain't better.
No, I'm not taking
better
you to
pay.
lunch.
DJ of the year.
He is DJ of the year, baby. Without him, we would have not made it. There's no doubt.
We're just living in it.
I wanted to get him a turntable back there.
Yeah. Mix up
like do a little scratching.
Get his height.
Scratch a little bit.
Give him some more of that.
Give us some of that liquid courage.
That's Wildcat right there.
Wildcat, what you need to do now, you keep worrying about that yard and everything, all that land you own out in the country.
All the bugs.
Turf Pro Pest Control, call Patrick, man. He'll come out. It don't matter how big or how small. Patrick and Turf Pro, I'll say it right in a minute. Come on, Lee. We'll have it looking outstanding.
Put that bottle down.
They do it. That's some good stuff. What do you put in that bottle? Anyway, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN. Yes, finally. We're here. Woo!
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Braves play the Nationals on Saturday, August 24th during the Week of Winning. Your first chance to win is going to be Tuesday at 7:40 during the Coach Hale Morning Show. Just be caller 10 at 850-215-6290 and remember the phrase that pays. Chop on.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231 and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin & Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin & Bullion Reserves.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
There you go.
Yeah, that's for both of them.
I am thinking about entering the Olympics now that I've seen my opportunity. I could get
women's boxing is where it's at.
155 women's boxing. I just got to cut about 40 pounds. And
we are back live.
My jab.
J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. What did you have your ham radio on when we were talking to Jeff? You rudely, we could hear you.
The weather alert thing. I got a separate little thingamabob over there, and there was kind of personal little warning here.
Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
It's no problem.
I had some. Oh, okay. Let's get into it real quick. Jim, you've coached almost 40 years. What's the deal with the NFL kickoffs? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Will it last? What's your take on it?
I didn't see it. I'm kind of aware of how they're going to do it. Here's my thing. I played and coached forever, for a long time. And I think a lot of times, like a lot of things, everything's a knee-jerk reaction. All it takes is one thing to happen, one event to happen, and people go overboard. To me, put the kicker back on it. This is what Wildcat and I were talking before the show.
We were talking about this. I'm upset about it. I hate it. I mean, and then, you go through all that trouble to change the rules and put them on the opposing team's 40-yard line.
Put the kicker on the 20.
But they still do the punt return the same old way.
And have the kickoff team at the 40. The problem is the kickers are so good. Everybody, there's no.
They can kick it in the end zone every time if they want.
They don't want to return the ball. That's what it is.
I think I jokingly said, and James, you're old enough. You're my age. You probably had coached like this. We used to have, in high school, we used to have scrimmages against teams, and you step off, you get the ball at the 30, and if you don't go for it, you step off 40 yards. Is that what we're going to evolve to?
Probably.
In the NFL? I just know.
The problem is we went so far down this rabbit hole to prevent injuries. Newsflash, this is a physical game. You are going to get injured. There's a good chance we all had nicks and bruises. Whether you're not injured or you're going to be banged up a little bit. It's a physical sport, and you can't regulate that out of the game. I thought it was the dumbest concept ever. You got guys looking backwards with 10 guys 10 yards in front of them, have to wait for the guy to catch the ball. Then they turn around. And I'll be honest, the first 3 hits were bigger hits than I've seen all last year on kickoffs. I mean, it
and
just
you know what they call it? They even gave it a new name.
I know.
Exciting kickoff.
What
did the kickoff?
What did the guys?
But exciting kickoff.
The announcers, were they for it, against it? How were? I guess they were told to be for it.
It sounded like it was a marketing ploy just to say, "Oh, this is going to be great. Look how exciting this is. This is going to change football." And everybody's looking around like, "This is the dumbest thing I've seen in about 20
Joe,
years."
what's his name? You could tell
Troy
he was
Aikman.
they were both going like. They were off camera. They're shaking their head, but their voices were saying, "Yeah, let's."
To me, this hasn't happened yet, but I read it online the other day. The onside kick ones are even worse. Okay?
That's hilarious.
Here's the new onside kick rules. All right, no particular order. You can only do it in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
You can only do it if you're behind. And the best one is you got to tell the other team that you're onside kicking. Hey, Jason, I'm going to onside kick. I'm going to kick it right at you. So you get all your people protected, and you just What are they doing?
That means at halftime, if you're in the lead and you wanted to steal a possession and run an onside kick, you have to go to the other coach and be like, hey, man, we're about to try to onside kick this. You have to be behind. And it's just the dumbest thing, man.
And James will probably be able to tell me the year and the quarter, what time it was, and what he was eating and what he was drinking at the time when it happened. But you remember when Nick Saban had the onside kick against Clemson?
Yeah.
That was a second half kickoff. That won the game for them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Not only that, then the kickoff return by Drake for a touchdown. Those two special team plays, that's a great point. Both special team plays on the kickoff won Alabama national championship. Without those two plays, I think Clemson beats them.
I remember Ohio State running that to, they put Olave on the far right end. They kicked that one in the second half, bounced right over the guy. He caught it right in his hands on the thing, stole possession when they were kind of struggling in the first half, came down, scored, and then the game was over.
Yeah.
I mean, those are big, change. I bet you Coach Manley's rolling over right now, just, incensed about what they've done to this.
Think about the guys.
Teams.
Think about the guys who made careers in NFL returning kicks. Devin Hester for the Bears.
Went in the Hall of Fame last night.
He's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Essentially for returning kicks. I'm sorry, Devin, you played at the right time, because right now you'd never get that opportunity.
Yeah. The funny thing is
they say return your ring now.
Josh Cribbs for the Browns, same thing.
But they say they're going to make it exciting. I didn't see anything exciting about it. I saw a very limited opportunity for a guy to score.
Glenn told me he was playing golf this morning and he wouldn't be here. How could you play golf in electrical storm? I don't think he's playing golf.
Because he's a trooper.
He's a man's man.
He's a man's man. That's right.
Yes.
Lightning's afraid of him.
Do you think they'll go back and change it?
No, I've never seen these people.
Let's take this call. We got a call. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Something happened.
Anybody home?
Good morning.
Call us back, caller.
Good morning.
The storm is killing people.
Hello. Hey. Oh, they hang up?
Yeah.
But back to your question, I do not see them change. And once they go in one direction, I've never seen them say, we were wrong about that. Let's change it back.
Exactly.
It's about ego and about...
They'll tweak it with some other ridiculous rule change.
I just hope they don't do that with college.
And we and you talked about this, and you hit on the point. It looks like doctors constructed this play, not football people, not people that know anything about the game and how it works. It's doctors that are trying to construct a play.
Right. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Who is this?
This is Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, I just had a quick comment. So I get it. We don't want the game to change. We all grew up watching the game that we watched it. However, we also have those years of watching the game to study the effects of what's happened to these players long term. I know you guys have a few in mind that, you've seen the effects of, all the hits that they took over the years. These guys are now worth millions. Back in the day, they weren't worth as much. So the play and the game change has evolved, and it might seem a little bit weird to us older folks, but if I'm an owner and if I'm going to be paying a kid a couple $1 million to do what he's doing, I want him to last. I want him to be able to keep doing what he's doing. That's all I have for you guys.
That's a good point. I never thought of that, but I think there's probably some truth in that. For sure.
Well, that's the reason they changed the rules to protect the quarterback.
But isn't that why they have 50-man rosters, so you can actually put people in the field that aren't going to start? Yeah. And I mean, I don't mind changing the game, but the hits I saw last night were no different than the hits I saw over the last 20 years. As a matter of fact, the first three were as hard as I've seen probably in like 2 years.
Apart.
But that's why they get paid those millions of dollars, because it's a high-risk game.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to see. We want to see big hits, and there is a risk.
I just don't want. They changed the game for safety reasons, and that's good. But it takes away. I don't want to take away the kicking game. That's the 1/3 of the game. It used to be.
If they want to take some injuries out of there, take the weight out of the helmet. I mean, design a new helmet. Take the weight out of it, because that's the most dangerous thing, is hitting somebody with a 5-pound helmet directly in their knee or arm or whatever. I mean, we've all had it done before, and it hurts. And start really testing these guys, because they all take some. I can tell you 100%. This is my avenue right here. They're all enhanced in some way. Test them for real, because they've gotten too big, too strong, too fast. And it's not just kickoffs that are getting hurt. I mean, when you got a running back coming through the hole and you're that guy that has to stop him, and he's got his head and the tip of his helmet coming at you, there's no good way to tackle that. And it's actually should be called helmet-to-helmet contact on the running back, but you never see it called. And that's the most dangerous.
Rarely do you see that.
That's the most dangerous thing in football to me. Being a safety, being undersized, having a 220-pound running back coming at you with his head just stuck right down, coming at your chest or your head. That's a tough one right there, and that one's one that you got to make a
I wonder
business
what the statistics were. Is Rob still on the phone? We got Rob. He hung up. Rob, great call. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That was good insight there.
But get off my lawn. Don't change my football. I'm kidding.
Well, they had to have gone through statistics and seen what
For
play.
sure, yeah.
We had so many injuries on kickoff return. We had so many injuries on punt return, whatever, and they thought they needed to change it.
How about
You would think.
on onside kicks?
That to me, that's just ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. When I saw that, it's like, what are we doing here?
Do you remember anybody being hurt on onside kicks?
Never.
Like been carted off or anything? Concussions?
You know, in a high school situation, in a 10-game season, you might see
one a year.
Yeah, one or two.
Which is natural, normal for football.
You don't ever see onside kicks.
Look, injuries are unfortunate, but when you're that big, that strong, that fast, they're going to happen. And there's no rules that you're going to put in place that's going to stop it.
And that's exciting when you see somebody that takes a risk. And we had a team around here that did it all the time, onside kicks, when you wouldn't think it. Was it Coach Brown?
Yeah.
At Bay, he used to, well, probably Glenn taught him that. Those onside kicks, you catch a team sleeping, and you get another possession of it. We already get a break coming up again. Goodness gracious, days going by fast. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We want to love all of our sponsors. They do an incredible job. Without them, and some of them have been with us for 9 years. They do. Jason's been with me for 9 years.
Speaking of injuries, Dr. Ward and Dr. Mitchell.
Yeah, Dr. Mitchell, Chad Mitchell. This will be his 25th year on the sidelines, man. This is incredible. So you just don't hear about this anymore. Nobody's that committed. This guy is a legendary doctor. If you get injured, don't make a mistake. You call Chad Mitchell's office, make an appointment, any type of injury, anything's bothering you, call, make an appointment. He'll take care of you. Same thing, if you want some great happy hour, you want some great Mexican food, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy Base on Thomas Drive. Go check it out. You'll love it. Great place to have a birthday party. Don't forget about Jay Michaels today. Chris Fish Special's incredible. Stevenson Air Condition. We got bad weather right now. We could have some serious bad weather later this week. If anything gets torn up, you make sure you get with Stevenson Air Condition. They do an incredible job. And one of our favorite places, we used to go there after our games when they had it here in Panama City Beach. That's Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street. Brand new facilities, absolutely beautiful. Lunch specials every day. Daily special. You pick out the meat you want. 3 sides for $11.20. You can't beat that anymore. And Friday night tonight, grilled or tell them what you want. You want it fried? You want it grilled fish, baked beans, cheese grits, or French fries, rolling tea. Charlie Corn Place on 15th Street. We'll be right back. 104.3. I love Pete Floyd. I love James Brown. I love Elvis. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You have to behave.
From 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up-to-the-minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, scattered thunderstorms and some sun and a high of 90 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 83. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and a temperature near 91. Moving into Sunday, about the same with a high of 90 and a chance of thunderstorms and light showers. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-932-1176. 800-932-1176. 800-932-1176. That's 800-932-1176.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Cakes, baby.
You really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing.
We're back.
Done better by Van Halen.
We're back. Yeah. 104.3. I agree. ESPN, I know. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Un-American.
Un-American. Okay, let's get into it. ESPN FPI, SEC best chance of making the playoffs. The Georgia Bulldogs come in not just in the SEC, the best team to have the best chance when getting the playoffs. They're the best chance in the nation. They got 79.1% according to the FPI, ESPN's FPI.
Is this to win or to get in?
Just to get in the playoffs.
Okay.
Number 3 team in the country is Texas out of the SEC, 67.8. I think number 2 was Ohio State. Number 7 in the country out of the SEC is the Alabama Crimson Tide, 57.2 chance of making the playoffs. Number 8 out of the SEC, Missouri, 37.3 for the Tigers. That surprises me.
Don't believe that one.
Number 9, their schedule's easy.
It is.
Number 9, Tennessee, 36.9. Number 10, Oklahoma, 36.6. 6 SEC schools. All right, now there we go. Best chance to win the national championship out of the SEC was Georgia. They were 21%, only 21%. And the lowest was Missouri, 2.2% out of these teams I just talked about. Now, I hope I didn't screw this up. I hope I wrote it down correctly because I was shocked at Ole Miss, which has an easy schedule. I thought Ole Miss would have a great opportunity.
I would switch them and put them where Missouri is. I mean, Missouri's got an easy schedule, but they're getting a lot of benefit for playing a Ohio State team that was down to their third string quarterback.
They're living off that win.
It was sleepwalking.
If you watch that game, Ohio State's defense dominated them for 3 quarters. They could not move the ball past.
Well, let's bring this guy in. Let his tell him what he thinks about this. Is Missouri living off a huge win off our big, huge name?
Yes.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Go with Truck Series representing I'll tell you, the weather up in Michigan's a lot better than down here. Nice and sunny up there. I come home and it's thundering and all that crap, man. What's up?
It was a tropical storm.
It's Mother Nature trying to tell you something.
It's that storm coming from Michigan for that notice of allegations. It's building.
Maybe somebody's upset that you're back here. You ever thought about that?
Could be. It could be.
We asked you a question. Missouri, are they living off that big win over the Buckeyes? It's like they're getting a lot of love. What do you think?
Well, they didn't beat the best Buckeye team they could put on the field. Let's be honest.
That's
and that
true.
goes with a lot of teams. That goes with a lot of teams in bowl season are beating these top tier teams, and they say, "Oh my gosh, they're so happy." But did you really beat their full squad? No, not really.
All right,
but Missouri, but hold on, I'm not done. Missouri is building a program though, so they are up and coming. So don't count them out.
Okay, I got to ask you a question. We don't have much time. I got to ask you a question. Southern Mississippi on CBS polls were ranked. They were ranked. Can you tell me where they were ranked?
Is it top 25?
No.
Negatory ghostwriter.
No. Yeah. Let me 75th.
Wrong.
Come on, James. We only got this.
Wrong.
Do you think I care about Southern Miss, the Harvard of the South? No, not really.
123.
Let me ask you this.
1, 2, 3. That's
were they ranked higher? No, actually lower, which is good, than Akron.
No.
Southern Mississippi was ranked. This hurts my heart. They were ranked 116th in the nation.
Wow.
123 wasn't that far off.
Yeah.
Akron, 132.
Hey, we're ahead of 2 people. Okay.
He took it like a man. I thought you'd go off on me.
No.
Good job.
You figure Akron and Kent State. Ohio is a great football state. So you would think that they would be like the pride of the MAC, like Ohio University, the Bobcats,
I don't think
and all that.
Do they have as much money as us, Russ?
See, but
In Tallahassee has issued a flash flood warning for northeastern Bay County in Florida, southeastern Washington County in Florida until 10:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time. At 8:51 a.m. Central Daylight Time, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 2 and 3 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard, flash flooding caused by thunderstorms. Source, radar. Impact, flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying areas. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Bennett, Camp Flowers, Gainer Spring, Bayhead, Ricotta Beach, Cairo, Vicksburg, Southport, Singer Road, Nixon, Youngstown, Swinders, and Fountain. Turn around. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Repeating, a flash flood warning has been issued until 10:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the following counties in Florida, Bay and Washington.
Texas A&M was number 6 plus 1,200. Tennessee was next at 7th at 1,800. And Missouri was 8th. Surprised me. Missouri was 8th, 1,230. 2,300. Number 9 was Oklahoma plus 2,700. And the top 10 was the Auburn Tigers plus 70. That means Auburn's having a better year than what the experts are thinking right now. Really, if you had to make a choice right now, knowing the schedules, Georgia's at Alabama, they're at Ole Miss, they're at Texas. I think they slip up somewhere. I don't think they go undefeated.
I think all these teams are going to slip up. I have a chance Ohio State could slip up at Oregon. I mean, that's a tough game.
I think they're going to play them twice.
Yeah, they're going to, and that's the point with me with Georgia and Alabama. I've said this before. If Texas was in the SEC last year, they lose 3-4 games. They were in a battle with Kansas State. They were in a battle with these other teams. It's a whole different animal when you're going against these SEC teams with NFL defensive linemen and offensive linemen on every single unit. I don't see that as the cream of the crop of the SEC. I see Alabama, Georgia with the highest blue chip ratio, the number one talent. Yeah, we got to see what DeBoer's offense is going to look like and defense, to be honest. But I just see it Alabama, Georgia, and the SEC until I see otherwise, and until I see some other teams come up and consistently win in that conference.
That's a great point.
Those are the two teams that I'm looking at that play in the SEC championship game.
Okay. Michigan, Eddie, who do you think will be the two teams play in the SEC championship game?
I think it's going to be Alabama, Georgia, with Bama taking it all because they got Jalen Milroe. He's the X factor. He's a known commodity at quarterback, even though UJ has Carson Beck coming back. But I think I give it to Alabama.
All right, let me ask you this. Michigan's ranked by CBS to finish 9th in the country, preseason poll 9th. Really and truly, you've been up that way. You look at the people they've lost, and be fair and balanced now. You look at all the people they've lost. They're scheduled. They got Texas. They got Ohio State. I think they got Oregon. I mean, that's 3 really good ball teams they got to play right there. What do you think and you coaching staff, too. This guy's never been a head coach. What are you hearing up there? Do they think they're going to reload and keep on winning at this level, or do you think they step back? Do they lose 2 or 3? If they lose 3 games, that would be a terrible year for Michigan after winning a national championship. Do they lose 3, or they lose just 1 or 2? What say you?
I say, anything's possible in college football. They can go undefeated. They can lose 4, 5, 6 ball games. You don't know. And the thing is this whole thing about the coaching staff being new. It's not really new. It's all promoted from within. They're going to keep Harbaugh's system and put their tweaks on it. And Sherrone Moore was the head coach 6 ball games last year. And you know what? The only X factor for Michigan is the quarterback, which is a big deal. Their defense is stout. Their running back is stout. Their wide receivers are stout. The tight end room is one of the best in the country, if not the best. So we'll see and let it all play out. But the schedule's tough. So to think they're going to go undefeated, I hope they do. But don't be surprised if they don't, and don't get all mad.
I will say
this. And all that. So,
hey, Michigan,
it's a tough schedule.
Great response. We only got 30 seconds. We got to go. It'd be nice if you called before the last 3 minutes of the show, but that's okay. Most people call earlier.
Thank Delta for delaying me 4 hours in Detroit, and I got back late last
night. Hey, you guys have a great weekend. Pay attention to the weather, man. Do not sleep on this thing. Don't listen to them until we know what's going on. Probably, heck, maybe Saturday night before we know for sure. All right, we're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Cowbells and swamps, the Aggies romp, and Bevo's in the SEC. How'd you like it, Paul?
Yeah, I'm surprised we ended up keeping Taylor's version over yours.
Thanks. What would you rate my song out of 10?
I'd go 10 out of 10.
Thanks, Paul.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, scattered thunderstorms and some sun and a high of 90 with a gentle breeze around 11 miles per hour out of the southwest. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 83.